This is your yucky mail, probably about Colts. And this is mine. Oh.
Hi everybody, I'm Garrett.
I'm Ethan.
And this is usually when we do a shooting video, but this Sunday we don't have a shooting video because we're in the process of moving our range, which you'll see next week, so not a lot of shooting next week either. But we decided that since we had such a big mail call this week, instead of doing a short...
Big ain't even the word for it.
We are going to do a mail call mixed with a Q&A. A lot of you guys have had questions in the comment section of the channel. This is where we're going to take the opportunity to actually answer all those if we can. We're not prepped. We are dirty looking because we just got home from work.
I've been working calves today.
Can you wait there, Ethan?
Yeah.
He's been having patience issues.
Yeah.
Let's see. Published questions. Let's do 5 questions and then we'll... Caleb, you keep track and then we will open up a package.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That sounds good to me.
Okay, so question number 1 is on the study for a couple of future projects that you just released the post on. Richard asked, how can I get a copy of that book? Basically, what is that book?
I sent them links. I put links in that comment. One of them is History of French Small Arms by Bianchi. The other is Weapons and Equipment of the Napoleonic Wars. Both of those are very good books. They're both available on Amazon and eBay. However, the Napoleonic War, or Weapons and Equipment of the Napoleonic Wars, is getting harder to find. And so you usually have to go used with that book. But they're both very good books.
So what are you studying to do? Just
Things.
study?
Things.
Things? So secret? Okay, it looks like the next one's for me, and it's on the 1872 Colt Open Top Short. Void asks, is that a replica? Yes, that is a replica. There were only around 7,000 original 72 open tops made. They're all in 44 Henry. They're fairly expensive, but keep your eyes peeled because it wouldn't surprise me if not too long one of those shows up here on the channel that is an original. Ethan, question number 3, and Conniff Green 2. This is a question you get all the time, so you might as well answer it here. Where did you get the tricorn hat?
Townsend's. Yep. Townsends.com.
Where you got all your clothing articles?
Most of them. Some of it I got from Etsy, some of it's homemade.
GIC asks, can you use Pyrodex in a flintlock? Which Pyrodex and how would you use it?
Short answer, not really. Long answer, you can, but should you? I wouldn't.
Don't use
because it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can make it work. It's just, it's dirty, it's highly corrosive, and it has a higher ignition temperature. So it's harder to get a spark to light it off. And then when you do get the spark to light it off, you got to sit there and watch the little campfire burn in your pan for about 30 seconds before it actually touches off the powder, if it touches it off. I would definitely suggest going with good old real black powder.
Alright, so the next question's to me, and I'm not going to say who asked it because it was actually kind of vulgar and I actually had to delete it, but I do remember exactly what it was, and it's been asked several ways. Why is there a rebel flag in the background of your Walker short video and several of your other short videos? Well, long answer short, because I want there to be a rebel flag in the background of my videos.
Oh, how dare you!
It's probably in the background of this video. It's been up there for years and years, and it's going to stay up there, and the only way it's not going to be there is if YouTube decides we can't use the videos at all, and in that case we just won't be making videos, so that's the only way you're not going to see it, is if we no longer can make videos. But yeah, it's up there. It's going to stay up there. I'm not going to apologize for it. Go melt, Snowflake. Anyway, shall we open our first package?
Yes.
Okay, that's...
I
This
think
one, yours is smaller.
Let's start, yeah, small, biggest to small.
I'll let you go first.
Okay. This
After
is
you.
from Richard Holmesmere. Oh, this is actually from the guy who wrote it. It is a book. I didn't know it was actually sent from the author himself. This is a book that I... let me get it out here first. This is the 58 and 50 caliber rifles and carbines at Springfield Armory, 1865 through 1872. Not a lot of books out there on this subject. And it's supposed to be a really good book. This was suggested to me by the channel Sear Trip. I'll leave a link to it in the description of this video, his channel. Go over there and check it out. Some of his in-depth videos would rival Seeing Arsenal, and he's only got 300 subscribers. But he does things like World War I stuff, World War II stuff, does history of phonographs and stuff like that from early 1900s. All kinds of cool stuff. Has a very in-depth video on Trapdoor Springfields, and I needed some of this information, so I asked him what book to get, and he pointed me to this one and a few others. This one's in now, and I'm very glad to have had it.
And if memory serves me right, this is a book, but I'm not 100% sure because I've ordered so much stuff here lately.
He can't wait for 5 more comments. You guys are not important to
It's
him.
like Christmas morning.
It's like when you wake up and they say we gotta sing the song first, and we're like,
We gotta sing a Christmas song. We gotta wait for Mom and Dad. Oh, yes. This is the one. The gold standard for another future project that's probably gonna show up in a few years. British Military Flintlock Rifles by DeWitt Bailey. This is where British muzzleloaders gets a lot of his information at. I've heard it is a very good book, and I am super excited to read it, especially considering the things that we are going to be talking about in the future. But I also like how, right on the back, that is definitely a Ferguson trigger guard. Well, we go.
I still think mine's better.
It probably is, but I like this one. So we go up to the next importance, which
Not yet. We got a ways to go. You're gonna have to be patient.
now you gotta answer 10 comments.
You know, now I gotta answer 10.
as my old drill sergeant used to say, Private, hurry up.
Okay. Gavin asks, and this is on your testing and loading techniques for accuracy of the smoothbore musket. Hey, quick question. What happens if you drilled and add an angle when you're drilling your touch hole? Would it affect the gun if I re-drill the fuse hole? I think he's talking about the touch hole. Evidently, he's got one that's drilled in at an angle, and he's wanting to know if he
that's
should
an
fix
easy
it.
fix. I've had to do it myself. If the touch hole isn't lined up where it needs to be, go order yourself a.
What?
Actually, I have one laying over here. Caleb's looking at right now. Go get yourself a touch hole liner. I've done this on several guns. The Charleville, aka Old Char, the touch hole used to be too low, and so the way I fixed it was I just drilled out I ordered a touch hole liner, drilled it out, threaded it, tapped it, all that good stuff, and put a new touch hole liner in it, and it works great. So yeah, that's the way I would suggest you do it. And yes, you can put touch hole liners in Indian-made guns.
Good.
Next question.
Next one's for me. It says, it's from James White, and he's talking about the Colt series. He says, where does the Cloverleaf land? Well, James, since that was actually made in 1870, but did not come onto the market until 1871, it's going to land right after the first and second model Derringers, which means that we have 3 videos to go to get there. We have the 2 videos on Colt conversions I intend to do, and then the video on the Derringer, and then 3 videos from now will be the Cloverleaf. On the video for testing loading techniques for accuracy in a smoothbore musket, Bill Mazzacco asked, what size ball did you say, and did you say 200 grains?
Yes, 200 grain charge and a 69 caliber round ball works really good with paper cartridges, and it works very good with a naked ball sitting on the powder. What I did find is that it doesn't work very good with a patched round ball because it seems to me like it blows the patch through the ball, because I actually found a couple patches downrange that had holes blown in them. It's usually a sign of a too loose of fitting. However, those were very tight fitting patches, so I am pretty sure it was overpressured for patched round ball.
And the second part of that question he asked was, what are you using in your Pedersoli Charleville? Same or near the same charge of 2F?
I don't have a Pedersoli Charleville. That's actually a military heritage gun that I have definitely spruced up, and it is about to get a lot more sprucing up thanks to the rifle shop. Starting to find out, yes, you can make rifle shop parts work on an Indian gun. But I was using 155 grains of powder in that gun, 1F, and a 64 caliber, or actually to be more precise, a .638 caliber soft lead musket ball.
Okay, one more and then we'll open a package. Doug Dukes asks, so how about loading, hi Doug, by the way, he's written a very nice book called History of the Firearms of the Texas Rangers. If you haven't, go look that up online and find you a copy. It's a really good book. But Doug Dukes asks, so how about loading the paper cartridge, but loading upside down so ball is closest to the powder and paper from the cartridge is on top.
I've done that before, and I've actually found a few sources that state that on certain circumstances, French had done that for better accuracy, and I have found that that actually gives me quite a bit better accuracy. Matter of fact, I've done a 3-shot group at 150 yards on a smaller than silhouette target, and mind you, I had one flyer, and that was me, but the 2 other rounds that I fired at that target hit the target in the head. So, yeah, that's definitely a way to load it, and I need to do some more testing on that in the future.
All right, open the package.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now, this package, I've been anticipating.
Bring it into frame.
We can't see the package.
This package, I have been anticipating. This package, I have been anticipating for quite a while. In my opinion, this is one of the most underrated firearms in world history because it was the #1 long arm, or carbine actually, of the cavalry in the British Empire during the Napoleonic Wars. And you can't even find a Wikipedia page on this thing. And this is a replica, so it's not 100% correct. Matter of fact, there's a lot of things I need to correct on it. I'm going to be doing a defarbing series on this one, hopefully.
Where's this package from?
Man,
Oh, it's from Military Heritage.
man, some reason it seems like this is probably a gun, but I don't know what gave
Yeah,
you that idea.
So, what was your conversation with Robert like?
I've been talking with Robert about this one, and he
By
was,
the way, he runs Military Heritage,
Yes.
guys.
and he's been very helpful with me. Matter of fact, he sent me the platoon exercise manual for this particular firearm. And I'm going to be ordering some parts from the rifle shop to put on this gun to make it a little more historically accurate. And basically, I just wanted a little gun that I could put in a pickup. Boy, they sure package
yeah, I was
this
about to
thing
say
good.
one thing about military heritage. Even
They
though,
package good.
yeah, even if it comes all dinged up, it's usually still okay.
Snapper, look, boxes to send antique firearms that are not FFL items to places.
I just like how they even protected the lock. That's actually pretty cool.
Show them the top, show it from the top.
Yeah, they cut the... That's actually very impressive.
It is a little
But-
short devil.
Ooh, it's
This-
shiny. It looks good for a military heritage.
Oh, yeah.
The finish actually looks decent.
They send Ethan
This-
only the best.
Is the Paget carbine, or as guys of the 95th Infantry in the Napoleonic War called it, Paget's little pop gun. It's a 66 caliber, 14-inch barreled gun, and this is the first gun that we've gotten from Military Heritage that we have a front and a rear sight. There you go. This is for Duke. This is for Duke. Talking about this. Here's how you're supposed to do it. And there's going to be some work done on that too.
That is one of the coolest saddle rings I've ever seen.
Oh, and by the way, another thing about it, flintlock
With the safety
with a safety.
that doesn't move.
I got to figure out how to make it work.
Oh, it only
Oh,
works
there
on
it goes.
half cock.
Yeah, it only works on the half cock. But there you go. A flintlock with a safety on your half cock.
Smooth bore with sights. Let me do that bad boy.
66 caliber.
And we got barrel wedges instead of.
Yep.
The only issue I have with it is, shouldn't these wedges have escutcheons?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
That's kind of cool. It's just wedges right in the wood.
This is very early into that whole idea.
And most people that are used to, by the way, that's how you actually use that. You don't
Yep.
turn it over and flip that deal
Yep.
down. But that's not bad at all, actually. Because a lot of people, on some guns anyway, you turn that over,
Yeah.
you flip that down. That's not even going to work on this. That's not actually a jag. That is a palm swell for beating it. That's not a bad. Oh, I actually like that captured ramrod. Some of them I don't care for.
It's so you can
Oh,
get your
okay.
marbles down when they get
Oh,
stuck
those are some
halfway.
fine buckhorn sights right there, boys.
Don't worry, there's going to be some work done to them. But I will say from all the pictures that I found that this big dome back here is actually
Well,
correct.
It is a smooth bore, so
Yep.
I really actually like that
And-
a lot.
They, this gun was claimed to be not accurate, so they did accuracy tests with them at 20 yards at a country club in England, and they said, good enough for us!
John Williamson on the Northwest Trade Gun asked, what caliber is it? And nominally, Northwest Trade Guns are going to be 62. However, I have seen 54 and 58s, and even larger, up to 69s. Just depends on the gun and the era. Generally 62, though. On the Pedersoli vs. Military Heritage video, Martin Meltzer asks, I really appreciate the contrast and comparison between these two manufacturers/importers. Do you have any thoughts as to why Military Heritage seems to have long delays of shipments coming from India these days? Their 1733 French cavalry pistols have been ready to ship for at least a year or more. They still haven't arrived. They are light years ahead of the Officer and Gentleman Fusee model that apparently has been out of stock since the last Ice Age.
So, I talked to Robert a little bit the other day. Actually, I talked to him for quite a while. And he was saying that basically they're just getting swamped with orders, and everything being the way it is, still kind of recovering from the whole, the coof. He said they've been having issues trying to get some guns in, but he said they're trying as best as they can. And he said that just here lately, they've just had tons of people buying guns from them.
So I always thought ready to ship means they had them in stock ready to sell.
Yeah, I don't know. This one right here, I ordered.
Was it ready to ship?
Yeah, it was ready to ship, and I ordered it a week ago.
I think ready to ship actually means, don't quote me on this, but I think ready to ship means that they've got it ready to go. Like right now, it's at the front of the line.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong there. So Doug Dukes asks, I love the hat, and he's referring to the brown hat I usually wear in the shorts that I make. Not this one, but I have a brown one. He said, I love the hat. Where do you get it at? Well, that's a kind of a cool story because I didn't know that hat was worth anything. People seem to really like it. That is actually a J.C. Higgins hat from the 1950s sold by Sears and Roebuck. I gave $3 for it at the secondhand store, and that's a really, really, really good hat. They made quality stuff for outdoorsmen back in the day. So, yeah, J.C. Higgins hats and clothing. I know that one other man, namely Paul Harrell, wears J.C. Higgins shooting coats all the time, so interesting stuff. Are you still playing with that?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't stop me.
Mike Sear asked, and this is on my History of the Handguns of Colt, episode 9 of the 1862 Pocket Police. Excellent information, but your camera must be different. Seems like your focus is off when you're at the table. And why so much editing? Looks like you keep skipping. Well, there's a reason there's so much editing, and that's because I can't talk. And you have to realize when the History of the Handguns of Colt, see what I did? I edited it right there. But when the History of the Handguns of Colt come out, when they first hit the editor, they're usually around 3 hours long. I can't even upload a video of that length even with my computer, which is a pretty good editing computer. So I have to go through and find every little place where I can cut the air out, and I have to cut it. And so anywhere where I had a pause that I feel like is too long, anywhere where I stumble over a word, a lot of times when I'm doing it, I have a script and a bunch of notes off to the side, and I will reference them as I go because these videos are over an hour long, most of them. Alright, one last question, then we'll open the big package. So this is on your Smith & Wesson Model 2 short. Dan Ditto asks, where do you get ammunition? Obviously because it's 32 rimfire. And how do you make ammo for it? Fantastic pistol.
Well, you see, the way we did that is we first of all went and spent, an arm and a leg to go buy some smokeless 32 rimfire long. Then what we did was we actually unloaded them. We pulled the bullets, dumped the powder, and then replaced the powder with 13 grains of 3F black powder. Replaced the bullet into the case, and then we used a specialized tool we've made to actually crimp the healed bullet into place. And so, yeah, that's how we do that. It's not easy.
And then after that, we started buying the 22 primary
Yep,
ones
and then we have the little 22 blank ones now, but they don't work in the 1.5.
for some reason.
Yep.
All right, so we got one more box to open here, and since this is Caleb's dream box, it's been a long time coming, and he has most of his life savings wrapped up in this one box. We're going to get out of here and let him have the area. So, Caleb, how long have you been waiting for this box?
I don't know.
We bought this a long time ago. Hopefully there's more than one.
Yeah, that would be sad.
In it.
I love how patient Caleb is with his box opening skills.
Yeah. Well, they packed them tight.
Anything good in here?
Okay.
Hello in there.
Am I still in focus?
Yes.
Okay. What would it be first? Wait up, we're wrapping.
That's a wrap.
All right, Caleb, what is it?
I don't know yet. I bet this one is a carbine.
You can't say till you get there.
I didn't say it was a carbine.
I gotta say, Lock, Stock, and Barrel does excellent wrapping
Yeah.
job. Man, that's a nice one.
Nuh-uh, it's missing half the stock.
Ta-dar!
Tadar.
What do you got, Caleb? It looks like it's a carbiner day.
Alright guys, I never thought I would actually hold one of these in my hand. This is an original 1873 trapdoor carbine, and of course, obviously the wood has been refinished. Everything else about it matches. Got everything we need. If the wood had not been refinished, we would not have been able to afford it. But yeah, I'm kind of amazed I'm sitting here holding this in my hand. So this one's made in 1881, and everything on it still works. Well, all I can say is the spring on the latch is a little loose right there, but that's not bad. 4570's got everything it needs. Never thought we'd ever own one of these. It's kind of cool here in the buttstock. I put this little trap door here on the back, and inside of there's a cleaning rod in 3 pieces. So if you get a cartridge jammed, you can throw that together, throw it down the bore, and you're good to go. So yeah, all original 73 trapdoor carbine. You do not see these very often.
We both got saddle ring carbines.
Actually, this is quite the day because there's
This is
another
a-
saddle ring carbine here on the table.
That's awesome. Okay, if you can't tell from the shape here what we have, this is the Guess This gun. What does it look like? Just before you do all that,
Yeah.
it's like cleaning a fish.
There it is.
Not quite.
Caleb, it looks like it has one of them naughty no-no things on the end.
There it is. Well, Caleb, aren't you going to tell them what you got there?
Repeaters.
Didn't they outlaw those at Geneva?
Look, you can fit your fist down the barrel.
So, yeah, this is the 1865 Spencer Chambered 5650. Rimfire, of course, but they do make conversion blocks for these, and if you look inside there, there's still color case hardening. This is a gun that was used heavily during the Indian Wars and other places. We're just awfully glad to have it. This is a saddle ring carbine, and this is not indicative exactly of what the case is here, but a lot of times when you see those rings cut off, it is generally a sign of Indian capture. Of course, there's no way to prove it with this one, but yes, the saddle ring carbine, the ring on the bar there has been cut off. Okay, so obviously this is a lever action repeater, and the way that you load it, you turn that sideways. You have a tube magazine here in the back. Like I said, this is an original for a Rimfire 5650 cartridges. I don't remember exactly the year this one was made. Need to look it up, I guess. Alright, so with this being serial number 17,000 and some change, this is an 1865 made gun. As far as I can tell, they delivered the first 30,000 in 1865. So, very interesting piece. A lot of Indian War provenance, repeating. The only difference between this and most of your Winchesters of the era is, of course, you have to cock the hammer when you do it. And like I said, they make conversion blocks. We haven't decided if we're going to put the conversion block in it. It's easy to swap them in and out. Or if we are just going to attempt to load some 5650 rimfire ammo and hope that the 22 blank primers stay in the right orientation as they go up through the buttstock and into the magazine, and from the magazine into the receiver. But other than that, yeah, a really cool little gun. They got good flip up sights. I haven't looked at the rifling yet. Let me look at the rifling. Oh yes, very nice rifling. Very cool gun all around. Not a lot of people have original ones of these, and it is just pretty awesome actually to hold this in your hand. So anyway, that's the end of this video, I guess. Stay tuned next week, and we will be doing some range moving, and you'll get to see some of the new range hopefully, and stuff like that. So as always, trust in God and keep your powder dry. Bye.